Okay, I will be. Last week we did purchase journal and sales journal. So today, before the starting of the class, I will quickly sum up the lesson, the purchase journal and the sales journal. Okay, so we are in the 10th lesson. We will be learning about purchases journal, sales journal, general journal, and some things about how IT electronics have improved the banking and financial sector, and how businesses are being supported with computer aided accounting and all that. We will be discussing about that as well. Uh, okay, so purchases journal. Purchases journal is a specialized journal. Now, let's say you are buying goods for the purpose of reselling. If you are buying goods for the purpose of for the reselling, and if you are buying them on credit basis, you are firstly recording them on the purchase journal. So purchase journal, it's a prime entry book, and once you buy one thing, you are buying goods for the reselling, and the next thing you are buying it on credit basis. So if that is the case, you will be initially recording these transactions in the purchase journal. So there are examples. We talked about these. For example, let's say if a business buys and resells automobiles, the purchase of automobiles on credit basis is recorded in purchase journal. So in terms of purchase journal, now we will be recording names from whom we bought stuff, and these people will be liabilities. Okay, and the amount that is payable is a liability to the business. And then about the source documents. So in purchase journal, we have a source document. We call it invoice. And since it is purchase journal, we will be calling it purchases invoice. Okay. So this information and purchases invoices will be recorded in the purchases journal at first. So we look at an example. For example, now this purchase journal invoice number is 120. It's been issued by Deshan Bookshop Main Street, Dehiwala. Deshan Bookshop Main Street, Dehiwala තමයි මේ බඩු ටික විකුණන්නේ. And Rashmi Bookshop Maharagama is buying it. Okay. So this is the purchase journal of the manager, Rashmi Bookshop Maharagama. Okay. Their purchase journal. Since we learned about the sales journal, okay, this is sort of like sales invoice for the Deshan Bookshop. This is purchase invoice for the Rashmi Bookshop, and this is sales invoice for the Deshan Bookshop. So what have they bought? They have bought drawing books 40 at 100 rupees, and CR books 200 CR books at 130 rupees, and exercise books 120 at 60 rupees per each. And then they have mentioned the total, and on top of that they have given a trade discount. So what is the specialty in trade discounts? We are not recording them in the our accounting books. Trade discount is not recorded in our books, accounting books. So we will be passing this net amount 33,480 to the accounts and the purchase journal. And here it's mentioned as condition 5/30 net 60. Can anyone remember what does it mean? Can anyone remember what does it mean? I mean condition 5/30 net 60. Can anyone remember what it is? 5/30 net 60 means that for settlement of this 33,480, this total amount, you have 60 days. Okay, you have 60 days. And if you settle it within 30 days, you will get a 5% discount. Okay, so on top of this 33,480, if you have to settle it within 60 days, if you settle it within 30 days, you will get a 5% on top of this. Okay. So when the condition 5/30 net 60 indicates that the purchaser should settle the credit within 60 days, and if she settles within 30 days, a 5% cash discounts will be given. Okay, the trade discount is the reduction in the listed price of the goods at the time of the purchase on credit. This trade discount is deducted in the invoice and not recorded in the accounts. This is important. Trade discount is deducted in the invoice but not recorded in accounts. Okay. Then after deducting the trade discount, the net purchases value of an invoice will be recorded in the purchase journal. අර trade discount එක අඩු වුණාට පස්සේ එන මෙන්න මේ value එක තමයි අපි purchase journal එකේ මේ 33,480 කියන එක තමයි අපි purchase journal එකේ record කරන්නේ. Okay. And this is a sample of the purchase journal. So I told you now, remembering how to draw these journals is important, because if you have been asked to draw it, then you will have to draw it. Okay. So because of that, I recommend you to take a piece of paper and draw all these journals, purchase journal, sales journal, and all the journals, record them and paste it somewhere you see. Okay. Then we wrote the note and we did a question. Okay. So if, by any chance, if you have missed the class, you can refer to the question. Okay. These two questions are there, we have to do it. Then we turn on to sales journal. Okay. So what is sales journal? This is sort of like opposite of the purchases journal. Now, when we have, let's say, now we buy on credit for the resale. Similarly, businesses have tradable goods, goods that are bought for trading purposes, trading goods that they sell on credit. Okay. So if you are selling trading goods on credit, then you will be recording them in the sales journal. And similar to purchases journal, sales journal also have a source document. We call it sales invoice. In purchase journal, we call it purchase invoice. Okay. And any business, they retain a copy of the sales invoice for their reference purpose. So similar to the things we learned earlier, when a business is doing a sale, they may also include trade discounts. Okay, when they're at the point of the sale, they may give a trade discount, and this trade discount is recorded on the invoice, but we are not recording it in our accounts. For example, if there is a trade discount, we are not recording it in our sales journal. Okay, the net value after deducting this trade discount is recorded in the sales journal. And we did a question from that. Okay. So as you can see, we have firstly recorded these transactions in the sales journal. And then after the month end, we have passed this 68,000 to the sales account, income account, credit, debtors credit 68,000. And in individual accounts, person's name, they have this here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Uh, Let me tell you how to use our YouTube channel as well. Okay. Okay. So Commerce Taxala is its name. And let's say you missed out a class also. Okay. What you have to do is you have to go to the playlists. Firstly, let's say there are revisions we do, the quick revisions. And if you want to quickly revise it, you can go to this quick revision section. Okay. This playlist, you can go to quick revisions playlist and you can uh, watch it as to what are the sections you want to revise. Now we have three things in it: purchase journal, quick revision, adjusting the bank account and and preparing bank balance from the last lesson, and the trade discount and cash discount revision. Okay, that is about the quick revisions. Let's say there is exam tomorrow and you want to revise something very quickly, then you can do that quick revision. Okay. Then there are practice questions. Okay. Let's say now, for example, you missed last week. Uh, is it here? Yeah. Okay. Let's say you missed a sales journal question or purchase journal question from the last week. Okay. Then if you want to revise the just the lesson, like just that question or that exercise, you can go to this one and click it and revise it. Okay, you can simply, like, let's say that you want to you want to revise your knowledge in a adjusting the bank account balance and preparing bank account question. Then you can simply go to this thing and look at it. Okay, let's say you want to revise your memory in bank reconciliation statement question, then you can simply go to this and revise it. Okay, that is about the question. Then there are some important parts. Okay, then I have recorded them these in here. Okay, like chunks. Let's say now you want to revise your knowledge in bank reconciliation statement, then you can go to this section and revise it. Let's say you want to know why the bank account balance and bank statement balance differ, then you can go to this video and revise it. Okay, your knowledge. Then this is about short videos. Okay, nothing much, you can just have a look over it. Then you have the your class sessions here. Okay, 2026 O level, your class sessions. Let's say that you missed last week. Okay, then what you can do is it's here, purchase journal and sales journal and general journal part 1. So it's just 57 minutes because we have cut what is inside. I mean, like some of the things we discuss in the class, like sort of like individual questions, we do not record it. And on the other hand, the times that you have to record the note and all that, we record it here. Okay. Now let's say you are watching it, and if and in between the way, now let's say now around this section you have a question. What you have to do is you have to post the video, and then you can, like, let's say if you want to ask a question, you can mention the time and send me a WhatsApp, or else you can comment here. Let's say it's 17 minute, put the minute and ask me the question as to what is the thing you want to revise. Okay, that is how it works. So if you all have any suggestions, drop me a message. Then I can add it to the YouTube channel. Okay. Then let's move on to today's section. Okay. Today we are going to learn about general journal. Today we are going to learn about general journal. So during the last weeks, we learned about the purchase journal and the sales journal. Purchase journal and sales journal, there is one thing special about it. What is it? Can anyone suggest? What is special about sort of like sales journal and purchase journal? මොකක්ද ඒකේ තියෙන වෙනස? Like something special about it? Those two journals are specialized journal. You can record only sales transactions in credit sales transaction in sales journal, and you can only record credit purchases on purchase journal. Okay. So in general journal, it's not a sort of like specialized journal like sales journal or purchase journal. General journal. In the earlier sections, we learned about the purchase journal and sales journal, and they are used to record only one type of transactions. As I said, if it is sales journal, you record sales, credit sales. If it is a purchase journal, you record purchase, credit purchases. Okay, so because of that, they are known as specialized journals. Okay, for example, sales journal is used to record only credit sales of trade goods. Okay, is it clear? No, nothing much to sort of like be panic about to think. Okay, then there may be some other transactions other than the transactions recorded in these journals. අර specialized journals වල record කරන transactions වලට අමතර transactions තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, හැබැයි ඒ transactions උත් record කරන්න ඕනේ, අර වගේ දාන්නත් බෑ. අර අපි කතා කරපු sales journal, purchases journal, ඒ වගේ ඒවායි දාන්නත් බෑ. එතකොට මොනවාද මේ transactions? What are the examples for these transactions? For example, let's say you are purchasing a machine on credit basis to be used in the business. You are purchasing a machine on credit basis to be used in the business. Or let's say you are purchasing a land on credit basis to expand the business activities. Or let's say owners use goods for their businesses for businesses in the owners use goods in the business for their own purpose. So if something like this happens, you have to record it in the general journal. Okay, now the important thing is, let's take something like this. Okay, purchase of a machine on credit basis to be used in the business. Okay, when it is a purchase, okay, now this is a credit purchase. Okay, now if you are given a if you are given a transaction like this, okay, this says purchase of a machine on a credit basis to be used in the business. Okay, so if it is a purchases, you can record it in the purchases journal, or else now as per this scenario you can use it general journal. How do you sort of like separate these two things? මේක දාන්න ඕනේ මෙන්න මේ ජර්නල් එකට කියලා හරියටම identify කරගන්න පොඩි කැලල මොකද්ද මේ transaction එකේ. I will stop the recording and like sort of like ask the question. Okay. Okay, so as we discussed now, in a transaction like this, what matters is now we say now purchase of machine on a credit basis to be used in the business. Then we used in the business කියන term එක ආවම අපි දැනගන්නවා මේක purchase journal එකට යන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. ඇයි මේක resell කරන්න ගත්ත product එකක් නෙමෙයි. Okay, so those things are the important thing when you are seeing a transaction. So it is mentioned, okay, you're buying it on credit basis, but not for the purpose of reselling, for the purpose of using it in the business. Then you're putting it to general journal, not purchases journal. By any chance, now let's say transactions come like purchase of a machine on credit basis for the purpose of reselling. Then you are recording it in purchases journal, not general journal. Okay. So these are the kind of transactions we record in general journal. Purchase of machine on credit basis to be used in the business. Purchase of land on credit basis to expand the business activities. And let's say if a owner is withdrawing their money. Okay, if there are drawings. And these transactions, as I said, they have to be recorded in a separate prime entry book. And the prime entry book that is used to record transactions like that are called general journal. Accordingly, transactions that are not recorded in other prime entry books are recorded first in general journal. The source document used to recording these transactions in the general journal is called or are called journal vouchers. Journal voucher කියන එක තමයි general journal එකේ source document එක. අපි කලිනුත් primary books වල වෙනම මේක ටික ඉගෙන ගත්තා. ඒ වගේම මෙතනදිත් අපිට ඒක හරි වැදගත්. හැම journal එකක්ම ගියාම ඒකට ගන්න source document එක මොකක්ද? purchase journal එක නම් purchase invoice එක. sales journal එක නම් sales invoice එක. දැන් general journal එකට ආවම journal voucher එක තමයි ඒක use කරන source document එක. Okay. Then let's see how to prepare the general journal. අපිට තියලා තියෙන sample format එකක්. First you put the date, then you put the voucher, then you put the description, ledger page. And here now earlier we had the amount, but here it's they have sort of like segregated it, debit column and credit column. And we have to record the transaction, how much is debited and how much credited. Why they given both debit column and credit column? Because this is a general journal. The specialized journal එකක නම් අපිට එන්නේ නිකන් single of direction එකක එන්නේ. දැන් general journal එකේ අපිට එහෙම ගන්න බෑ. General journal එකේ අපිට එන්න පුළුවන් අපිට එන්නේ විවිධ transaction. It's not a specialized transaction. So for that we have to keep a provision. For that we have recorded or else we have allocated both debit column and credit column. Okay. Then for every transaction recorded in the general journal, a brief description known as narration is written. දැන් අපි කලින් ඒවයිදී let's say අපි හිතමු purchase journal එක කියලා. purchase journal එකේදී අපි මොකද කරේ? අපි කෙලින්ම නම දැම්මා. අපි හිතමු sales journal එක. අපි කෙලින්ම නම දැම්මා. මෙච්චරයිනේ කරේ. නම දැම්මා, invoice number එක දැම්මා, value එක දැම්මා. අපි ආයිත් මේකේ මොනවද කතා ඒවා මොකුත් ලියන්න ගියේ නැහැ. But here, when it comes to general journal, for every transaction recorded in the general journal, a brief description known as narration is written. Narration का clear known. Purchase of an equipment on credit for the business for use of 10,000 from Silva and Company Private Limited on February 28, for example, if that is the case. Then we recorded equipment account එක අපි මේක buy කරලා තියෙන purchase of equipment නේ මගේ asset එක වැඩි වෙන නිසා 10,000 කියලා දැම්මා Silva Company Limited එකෙන් ණයට ගත්තේ යාමගේ liability එකක් ඒ නිසා 10,000 දැම්මා and I give a brief description recording of equipment bought from Silva and Company Limited on credit basis at a cost of 10,000. So I write that brief description. Okay. Now in our syllabus, now there are different transactions recorded here. So we will be among these transaction, correction of accounting errors and adjustment entries are discussed in our level. Okay. So did you understand general journal? Did you understand it? Are there any questions? So let's go to the note. So before that, I will pause the session and ask you a few questions. Okay. Okay. Let's write down the note from the general journal. So I will read out this section firstly, and then you can take a couple of minutes and write it. Okay. The purchase journal and sales journal are specialized journals used to record specific type of business transactions. For example, sales journal is used exclusively for recording credit sales of trade goods. However, some transactions do not fit into these journals, such as the purchase of a machine or land on credit, or when the owner used business goods for the personal use. These transactions are instead recorded in a separate prime entry book called the General Journal. General Journal captures transactions that are not recorded in other specialized journals, and the source document for these entries is the journal voucher. Okay, you can take a couple of minutes and start writing this. If you have completed writing this section, you can move on to next slide and start writing this. So a general journal can be prepared as follows, and we have given the format. So quickly, like sort of note down this format. Take about 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, let's since we have finished this slide, let's move on to next slide. Okay. For every transaction recorded in the general journal, a brief description known as narration is written. Now, this thing we discussed earlier also. Purchase of an equipment on credit for the business use for rupees 10,000 from Silva and Company Private Limited on 28th February. Then we record it, and here we write the narration. The recording of equipment bought from Silva and Company Limited on credit at a cost of 10,000. This recording part is not necessary. Equipment bought from Silva and Company Limited on credit at a cost of 10,000. Okay. And then you need not to write, but just write. So you can take 1 to 2 minutes take 2 minutes. By 7:10, please complete this. So we can move on to the next section. That is instant cash transactions through electronic methods of technology. Okay, with that, we have wrap up the general section of the lesson. Uh, so you can revise it and be thorough with it. And let's move on to the next section. That is the instant cash transactions through the electronic methods of technology. Instant cash transactions through the electronic methods of technology. So now, if you look at businesses today, what is happening is more and more businesses are gearing towards electronic methods. They are trying to use, let's say, websites. They are trying to use electronic banking. They are trying to use POS machines to take your like money. They are going to access like your debit cards or credit cards. And there are so many things that is happening in the world of business. Okay. Now let's say so many years ago, if you want to buy something, then you will have to go to shop, okay, pay money in cash, and then do the transaction. But now what has happened is all these things are happening via electronical channels. Let's say you don't want to go to shop, you have like online shops, you can do the online shopping, and then you can make the payments not with physical cash, but you can make the payments with, let's say, your QR codes like from your mobile phone or your debit card or credit card, or you can simply transfer money from your account to someone else's account likewise. Okay, the methods of conducting business activities have changed with the development of the technology. Now business activities are conducted via technological methods. These transactions conducted using the technologies should also be recorded in the prime entry books and post to the ledgers. Now, despite the fact of this transformation, let's say from physical methodologies to electronic methodologies, okay, what still matters is you have to record everything in your accounts, okay, because accounting is a process where you assess your company situation in a financial perspective. Okay, so be it like you do it digitally or be it you do it physically, either way you have to record it in your accounts. Okay, okay, let's see what are the like what are the things we do in business. Okay, following are some instances where transactions are conducted using technology. Okay, what are the instances that we use technology to do the transactions? Computerized accounting process instead of manual recording of books. Okay, then use of telephones, text messages, and emails instead of communicating through letters with the customers and suppliers. Payment of water bills, electricity bills through the internet. Then use of checks, debit cards, credit cards instead of currency notes and coins. Obtaining account details and conducting transactions through internet without going to bank. Conducting sales through electronic equipment such as point of sales machines. Okay, so let me explain this. Okay, now these are the instances where we use technology for transactions. අපි දැන් transactions කියන දේවල් ගැන මුලින් තමයි ඉගෙනගෙන ආවනේ. So we have two forms of transactions. One is the cash, one is the credit. So either way, okay, we can use these and there are some other transactions as well. But whatever the circumstances, okay, you can use technology as indicated below for this process. For example, let's say you can use now computerized accounting for the preparation of accounts without using the manual recording of books. දැන් ඉස්සර ගත්තොත් එම ඔක්කොම අපිට ledger accounts කියලා වෙලා වෙන වෙනම පොත් තිබ්බා. හරිද? But today that process has been simplified. You have computerized accounting. For example, there are different packages like QuickBook. ඒ වගේ එක එක packages තියෙනවා computerized accounting කරන්න. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිතන්නකෝ දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දකිනවනේ Kiehl's කියන කඩේ. Kiehl's කියන සුපර් මාකට් එක දකිනවනේ. Now ඒක ඔයගොල්ලෝ සුපර් මාකට් shop එකක් විදිහට දැක්කට they also have all this accounting happening, no? Purchasing of goods, sale of goods, other transactions, and they have their bank accounts, they have their cash accounts, and they have a whole lot of transactions that are going through. Okay, now for all of that, now let's say they are going to do it manually කරන්න ගිහිල්ලා manually තනියම වෙනම records දාගෙන ඉවරලා කරන්න ගියොත් එහෙම ඒක මේ ආත්මෙදි කරන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Because there is that amount of that volume of transactions. ඉස්සර ගත්තොත් එහෙම කඩයක් නම් එක කඩයයි තිබුණේ ඒ කඩේ මොන හරි පොට් එකක් කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. But now that is not the case. Businesses have grown so much and so big, and they need all these electronical methods. So what they do is at each time they record your, like, let's say they give you the receipt, all these transactions are filtered through a system into the accounting. So they do not use manual records, they use the computerized accounting. Okay, then you can use telephones, text messages, and emails instead of communicating through letters with customers and suppliers. දැන් ඉස්සර ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මොන හරි අපි හිතමුකෝ දැන් මේ ඉලෙක්ට්‍රොනිකල් මෙතඩ්ස් තියෙන කලින් කස්ටමර්ට මොන හරි පණිවිඩයක් දෙන්න ඕනේ නම් you will have to use letters. For example, let's say that let's say good 20-30 years back, you want to bring down a car from UK to Colombo. Okay, that happened, no? All this so many years back. Then can you use telephones or text messages or emails and do communication, like ask from where is the, I mean, what are the specifications of this car and all that? Can you ask? No, you cannot. Okay, but today you can simply take a telephone call or do a text message or send an email, and you can contact with your customers, suppliers. You can inform them if there is any delay. You can inform them. Okay, if there are any changes to orders, you can inform them. Okay, you can inquire them, not just informing. You can ask from them. Okay, likewise. Then payment of water bills, electricity bills through the internet. Now, for example, now earlier days, we used to go to banks and pay the water bills and electricity bills. But now that is not the case. You have the banking apps and you can straight away make the payments. Sometimes when you are making a payment through a physical channel, you will be charged. ඒ කියන්නේ water bill එක ගෙවනකොට water bill එක 1000යි නම් සමහරකට මේ transaction එක කරනකොට රුපියල් 50ක් විතර ගන්නවා. හරිද? ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඉලෙක්ට්‍රොනිකල් channels වලට ආවම ඒ transaction එකේ cost එක එක්කෝ නැති කරනවා නැත්නම් ඒ cost එක අඩු කරනවා. කියන්නේ කලින් 50ක් ගත්තා නම් එක්කෝ ඒ cost එක තනිකරම waive off කරලා දානවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒ 50ක් ගත්ත එක let's say about for 20 they will reduce it. Likewise, okay? And then using of actually checks is not a sort of a like electronical method, okay? It's mostly a physical method, but let's look at things like debit cards, credit cards. Instead of currency notes and coins, we are using them. We are using them frequently. Then ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට අපි කරන්නේ now today it has gone even up more than this. Now if you look at countries like let's say India, even India, our neighbor, they have even ourselves, we have the QR codes. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට account එක තියෙනවා, account එකේ දැන් අපි ගිහිල්ලා දැන් හිතන්නකෝ එයා ළඟ තියෙනවා, අපි ළඟ තියෙනවා නම් හිතන්නකෝ Unipay හරි මොන හරි ඒ වගේ එකක් තියෙනවා නම් එයාලා ගාව තියෙනවා QR code එක. එතකොට අපි QR code එකට මොබයිල් ෆෝන් එකෙන් ස්කෑන් කරලා අල්ලපු ගමන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? මොබයිල් එකෙන් account එකෙන් ඒ account එකෙන් automatically ඒ ගාණ අඩු වෙලා අර shop එකට යනවා. Okay, now if you look at some of these overseas countries, okay, now today's phones are NFC enabled, no? Even the debit cards දෙක ඔයාට පුළුවන් ටැප් කරලා ගෙවන්න. ඔයාගේ POS machine එකට ටැප් කරලා ගෙවන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් අර ඉස්සර නම් කරන්නේ ඒක කාඩ් එක ඇතුළට දාලා නේ ගෙවන්නේ. එහෙම නෙමෙයි. දැන් පොඩි transactions තියෙනවා නම් අර machine එක ළඟට පොඩ්ඩක් ටැප් කරලා ගෙවන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ වෙන පිට රටවල් වල ඕගොල්ලෝ ට්‍රේන් එකේ යනවා නම් ට්‍රේන් එකට ගෙවන්න දැන් අපේ ලංකාව වගේ කියලා ෆිසිකල් මේක ගන්න නැහැ. එක්කෝ යාලට කාඩ් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කාඩ් ඒ කියන්නේ සල්ලි ලෝඩ් කරපු කාඩ් එක තියෙන කාඩ් එක ටැප් කරනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් ෆෝන් එකට account එක ඔක්කොම මේවා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ෆෝන් එකට account එක connect කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ෆෝන් එක check in වෙද්දි ෆෝන් එක ටැප් කරගෙන යනවා. ෆෝන් එක පොඩ්ඩක් තියාගෙන යනවා. එතකොට ඒක automatically debit වෙනවා. Likewise, the context of businesses and how businesses are conducted has been changed so much. Okay, then you can obtain account details and conduct transactions through internet without going to the bank. You need not to go to bank today. For example, let's say 5 years back, you may have to go to bank to open a fixed deposit account, but now you can open FDs even with online banking. Okay, you can request a lot of services. Then conduct sales through electric equipment such as point of sales machine. POS machine එක කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ keys කාගේස් වලට ගියොත් එහම ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ card එක ගහන්නේ. ඒක POS machine එක. So as I said, now you need to just tap it only. Tap කරාම payment එක යනවා. අරක swipe කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ දැන්. Okay. Uh, Transactions conducted through mobile phones. Okay, let's look at what are the transactions that are conducted through mobile phones. Transactions conducted through mobile phones spread of a mobile network all over Sri Lanka has revolutionized day-to-day life of everyone. One, mobile phones with the latest technology has vastly changed the business world as well. The vastly used mobile phones in Sri Lanka are now used to settle the payments in businesses. The mobile based settlement system was firstly introduced by a private telecommunication service provider in 2012. As I said, now we can use mobile phones for the payment settlements. ඒක අපිට ෆිසිකලි පේමන්ට්ස් කරන්න අර මං කිව්වා වගේ NFC enable කරලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒ විදිහට payments settlements වලට ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට අමතරව if you have a financial institution mobile application installed in that phone, then you can simply do it over that phone. And on the other hand, you can communicate via the mobile phones regarding your businesses. Okay, so that is how you can do the transactions through mobile phones. Then ability to communicate information quickly with any party related to the business and easy to conduct business activities via mobile phones. Those things are well known, nothing to explain. Okay. Easy to obtain required information to take the business decisions by browsing the internet through data connection of mobile phones. Now, now if you look at internet penetration, most of the time people are using mobile phones. Okay. Internet penetrate කරන්න ගොඩක් අය desktop use කරන්න නැහැ. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට use කරන්නේ mobile phones. Okay. At present, most bank provides mobile banking facilities to their customers. These services are known as telebanking services. Telebanking services කියලා කියන්නේ mobile banking through mobile phone එක through banking facilities දෙන එකට අපි කියනවා telebanking facilities කියලා. The following tasks can be accomplished using telebanking facility. Okay. For example, you can check the account balance, obtain bank statement, payment of electricity bills and water bills. Okay, transfer funds from one account to other account, placement of orders for checkbooks. මේ ඔක්කොමවට කරන්න පුළුවන් වගේ mobile application එක හරහා. Now if you look at 10 years back, ඔයාට account එකේ තියෙන balance එක බලා ගන්න ඕන නම් what you have to do is you have to give a phone call to the bank and ask what is the balance. මගේ මෙන්න මේ ගාන අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවද කියලා අහන්න ඕන. But now that is not the case. You need not to do that. Payments are automatically deducted and you can view it from your mobile phone app. ඔයාගේ mobile phone app එකෙන් බලන්න පුළුවන් account balance එක කීයද. ඒකෙන් ඔයාට statement එක ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. mobile phone එකෙන් ඔයාට electricity bill, water bill ගෙවන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරිද? ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාට ඕනි නම් ඔයාගේ යාළුවෙක්ට funds transfer කරන්න ඕනි නම් එතකොට එයාට funds transfer කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරිද? ඊට පස්සේ ඊට අමතරව ඔයාලට check book order කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. දැන් පිට රටවල් වල let's say for example places like UK ඔයාට පුළුවන් ඔයා හිතන්නකො 5 දෙනෙක් එකතු වෙලා කන්න යනවා. හරි. ඊට පස්සේ බිල 5000යි කියලා හිතන්නකො. දැන් එතකොට 10 5 දෙනා බෙදා ගන්න එපයි. ඒක පුළුවනි මොබයිල් ෆෝන් එකේ ඇප් එකෙන් ඔයාට දැන් එක්කෙනෙක් ගෙවනවා. 5 දෙනා ගිහිල්ලා එක්කෙනෙක් ගෙවනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ ට්‍රාන්සැක්ෂන් එක ෂෙයා කරන්න දැම්මට පස්සේ අනිත් අය ටක් ගාලා ටැප් කරපු ගමන් අර ගෙවපු අනිත් එක්කෙනාට ඔක්කොම සල්ලි ටික ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර් වෙනවා 10000 ගානේ. ඒ වගේ ගොඩාක් දැන් ටෙක්නෝලොජි එක යූස් වෙලා මේ මුළු ප්‍රොසෙස් එකම වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මොබයිල් ෆෝන් එක ගෙනිච්චට පස්සේ එක්කෙනෙක් ෆෝන් එක ටැප් කරනවා. ඒකේ 5000 කැපිලා යනවා. ඒත් එක්කම පින් වෙනවා මේ ඒ ට්‍රාන්සැක්ෂන් එක මොබයිල් ඇප් එකට. අර ෂෙයා කරන්න ගියප එක එක්කෙනාට එක්කෙනාට 10000 ගානේ. එතකොට එයාලා ටක් ටක් ගාලා ඒක ප්‍රෙස් කරපු ගමන් So that is how. So what are the advantages of telebanking facility? Ability for businessmen to control their funds without going to the bank at any time and anywhere. Easy to conduct transactions, and financial transactions can be fulfilled quickly, save time and effort. Problem of safety when transporting coins and notes is absent when using the telebanking facilities. I think මේටික හරිම common දේවල්. Nothing much to explain. Okay, you can do transaction at any time, anywhere. Let's say you want to pay a straight now. Let's say you are on a business trip to Dubai. ඔයාගේ water මොනවා හරි company එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔයා business trip එකකට යනවා Dubai වලට. හරිද? ඔයාගේ ලංකාවේ ඉන්න supplier කෙනෙක් බඩු ටික දාලා ඉවර වෙලා දැන් එයාට payment එක කරන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට ඔයාට පුළුවන් Dubai වලින් ඉඳන් phone එකෙන් අර payment එක කරන්න. Okay. And you can conduct any transaction. Okay. And then you can quickly do it. දැන් බැංකුවට ගිහිල්ලා රිසිප්ට් එකක් ලියලා ඒක දීලා ටෙලර්ට දීලා එයා ඒක ගහලා වෙරිෆයි කරලා එයා මුකුත් නැහැ. You can simply press of a button. Okay, so it saves your time and effort. And then you don't have to, no longer you have to transport coins and notes. එතකොට ඔයාගෙන් කවුරු හරි එකපාරට මොන හරි දැන් පර්ස් එක සහොරකම් කරොත් එimhe කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැනේ. ඒ වුණාට කාඩ් එකක් මොකක් හරි හොරකම් කරොත් බැංකුවට ටක් ගාලා කෝල් එකක් දීලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, please stop this card. So you have a lot of safety. Are there any questions from these areas? මේක මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද? These are very simple stuff. Okay.
Yes.
So then you have computer aided accounting. I will let me see how I can. Shall we write these things and then move on to computer aided accounting? Okay, let's write down the note. Okay. Put a sub. So how you have to write the notice? You have to put a subheading and you're writing it. So subheading is instant cash transactions through the electronical methods of technology. So I will read out the note first. Okay. With the advancement of technology, business practices have evolved significantly. Nowadays, businesses are increasing using technology methods to conduct various activities. Below are some key instances where technology has transformed business transactions. Okay. Examples of technological business transactions. Computerized accounting. Instead of manual recording transactions in the book, business now use computerized systems for the accounting. Digital communication. Business use telephones, text messages, and emails to communicate with customers and suppliers, replacing traditional letters. Online bill payment. Water and electricity bills can be paid through internet. Electronics payment. Use of checks, debit cards, and credit cards has largely replaced currency, notes, and coins. Internet banking. Business can access account details and conduct transactions through the internet without visiting the bank. Electronic sales equipment. Sales can be processed using devices such as point of sales machines. And then all of these technologically driven transactions must still be recorded in primary books and posted into ledger accounts. Harid, yeah, you can write this down. Do you know what is point of sales machines? POS machine එක කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා දන්නවද? You'll have seen it. Maybe you cannot sort of like recognize it as a POS machine. You don't know the name of it. POS machine එක කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා දන්නවද? Point of sales machine එක කියන්නේ. Come on, speak. Students, please speak. Do you all know it?
No, sir.
POS machine එක කියන්නේ අපි මේ දැන් ඔය හිතනකො අපි කීල්ස් එක නැත්තම් කාඩ් ගිල්ස් එක නැත්තම් මොනවා හරි කඩේකට ගිහිල්ලා අපි මේ කාඩ් එකෙන් ස්වයිප් කරන්න දුන්නා කියලා ගහන්න ඒ කියන්නේ මේ පේමන්ට් එක කරන්න දුන්නා මෙයා ස්වයිප් කරන්නේ POS machine එකේ. point of sales machine එකේ තමයි ඒක ස්වයිප් කරන්නේ. නැත්තම් අර මං කිව්ව ටැප් කරනවා කියලා කාඩ් එක ඒක කරන්නේ POS machine එකේ. Okay. Okay, you can start writing the note. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Transactions conducted through mobile phones. Okay. The rapid spread of mobile phone network has revolutionized businesses in Sri Lanka. Mobile phones with the latest technology have dramatically changed how businesses transactions are conducted. In 2012, a private telecommunication service provider introduced a mobile-based settlement system in Sri Lanka. Advantages of using mobile phones for the business. Quick communications, information can be shared rapidly with business stakeholders. Mobile banking, it is easy to conduct banking activities through mobile phones. Access to information, business decisions can be made more effectively by browsing the internet via mobile phones. Okay, that's it. Write it, complete this slide. Okay, next move on to next slide. banking transactions conducted through mobile phones. Today, most banks offer mobile banking services, also known as telebanking, allowing customers to manage their finances more efficiently. Tasks possible with telebanking: check bank account balance, obtain bank statement, pay electricity and water bills, transfer funds between accounts, place order for checkbooks. Okay, quickly write this. Take about 1 to 2 minutes and complete this. Okay, let's move on to next slide. Advantages of telebanking: remote access. Business owners can manage their funds anytime and anywhere without visiting the bank. Efficient transactions. Financial transactions are quick and easy. Time saving. It saves time and effort compared to traditional banking methods. Then security. Telebanking eliminates the risk associated with transporting physical cash. Okay, you can quickly write this. So hopefully we can finish off the lesson today. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next section, computer-aided accounting. So, as I said earlier, also now most of the time that companies do not do accounting on manual books. Rather, what they do is they use computer accounting packages. So it is also known as computer-aided accounting. So as soon as transactions happen, let's say when the raw transaction is happening, it is being feeded into the system and respective accounting entries are passed most of the time. Now let's say you are in Kiehl's and you are buying a packet of milk powder. Then it's these things are being recorded accordingly as a cash sale, stock management, and everything. These are uh, recorded and done based on the computers, and based on all these accounting packages, everything is already done. Stock management, accounting management, and working capital cycle management, all of that is happening with computer aided accounting. Okay. So currently, most businesses have computerized their accounting activities. Accounting data, the input is entered to an accounting software and the required accounting outputs are obtained. accounting inputs ටික දාපු ගමන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? accounting software එකට අර ගානට අර accounts ටික ඔක්කොම accounting standards වලට හැදිලා ඔක්කොම financial statements ගානට process වෙනවා. The day-to-day transactions are entered into computer system. As I said, හිතන්නකෝ අපි කීල්ස් එකට ගිහිල්ලා කිරිපිටි පැකට් එකක් ගන්නවා කියලා. එතකොට ඒක තමයි day-to-day transaction එක. ඒක computerized system එකට enter වෙලා ඊට පස්සේ over the internet main center එකකට ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්ඩිවිජුවල් සෙන්ටර්ස් වල තියෙනවා ගිහිල්ලා ගානට centrally ගානට accounts ටික ඔක්කොම process වෙනවා. These data are recorded, stored, interpreted, and communicated to stakeholders of the business using computers. ඒක process වෙලා accounts ටික prepare වෙනවා විතරක් නෙමෙයි, ඒක record කරන එක, store කරන එක, interpret කරන එක, communicate කරන එක ඒවත් අපිට via computers කරන්න පුළුවන්. At the end of the accounting period, financial statements would be prepared automatically by computers. එතකොට our financial statements ටිකත් automatically ඔක්කොම ටික හැදෙනවා. The following accounting packages are being used at present for this purpose. Uh, Account ACC pack, QuickBook, MyOB, Sage, Sagi. Uh, then what are the advantages and disadvantages of computerized accounting? Advantages: time is saved as transactions are quickly recorded in accounting system and financial reports are automatically prepared. So that is well known. Okay, time is saved and you can do the things very quickly. And money is also saved because you do not want all these bookkeepers, clerks, and accountants and all that. You can reduce the count. Then there will be high level of accuracy in accounting reports. Okay, because they are automatically prepared. No one can do frauds inside. They are very accurate. Then ability to obtain relevant data easily and quickly. So you can obtain data very easily and quickly as well. Okay. Then disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? So risk of deletion of data due to power failures, computer viruses, and other technical faults. හැමතිස්සම data loss වෙන්න පුළුවන්. For example, because of a power failure, or else let's say some computer virus or some technical fault also. Okay. Sometimes unauthorized access can happen. For example, let's say you are company number one and your company number two is a competitor, and they can somehow access your details and then get the like accounting and how the secrets of your business. Okay. Then large sum of money is required to purchase the computer software. දැන් අපි SAP වගේ හරි ඒ වගේ ලොකු system එකක් දානවා නම් it requires lot of money. So depending on the like sort of like what business it is. Okay. So those are the disadvantages. Okay, then let's write down the note. Uh, Put the subheading as computer aided accounting. I will read out the note and then you can write it down. Okay. Many businesses have adopted computer aided accounting to streamline their accounting activities. Accounting data is input into accounting software and the required outputs are generated automatically. Day-to-day transactions are recorded, stored, interpreted, and communicated to stakeholders through computers. At the end of the accounting period, financial statements are prepared automatically by the system. Commonly used accounting software, they have been given here. Okay. Can you write? Please complete this. Students, have you completed writing this?
Okay.
Okay. Students, can you? No, not at all. Students, please take a screenshot of this. Uh, please take a screenshot of this, and I will move this slide to this and uh, take a couple of minutes and write these two slides. Okay. This slide, firstly write it, and after that write this. Please take a screenshot of this. Write this. Give me a couple of minutes, okay? Shall we move on to next slide? This is completed, right? Shall we move on to next slide? Students,
Okay.
please complete this and then we will watch about 2 to 3 minute video and we'll finish off the class. So we will be watching this video. So I will be not recording it on this session. Okay. So you can continue writing and I will stop the recording.